goodness. I think we're gonna have a problem here, people. Yes, that's it, thank you. Hello, my name is Regan Fraser, aka Kevin Nasher, aka Awesome Man, aka Andre X, aka Andre, aka K9, aka so many others. So, let's get down to business, shall we? Today, I'm going to do something a little different. Usually I do something like a game or something, but now I'm going to do a list. Yes, my first list, and it's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I've been having it really hard to put this list together because there are so many great rappers out there, and rapping is my favorite genre of music, so I guess I owe it to it. So, yeah. Today I'm going to be doing the top 7 child rappers ever in the world. And I'm not even sure about the list myself, but if you think differently from me, please feel free to express yourself in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and like, or you could dislike. Really, I don't really care which one I choose. So, let's get down to business. Coming up in number 7, we have Romeo. Okay. This is lost. Romeo Miller was born in 1980 something. Some shit, I don't really remember. And he is the son of Master P, which is, his real name is Percy Miller. So, Master P founded No Limit Records back in the day. He became a baller, two-shot caller, body, whatever. He had, and in one of my favorite rap songs of all time, make him say, and he showed that it was possible for an independent record label to make it big. I mean, that song were in the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. That is how revolutionary it is. So, when Master P had a son and called him Romeo, it was kind of expected for Romeo to get into the rap game at an early age. So, he released his debut album, self-titled Romeo, in 2001. And it had 2 singles, The Girlie and one of my favorite Romeo songs, My Baby. Now, My Baby either got to spots number 1, 2, or 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, which I think is the most in, like, No Limit history, before they turned into No Limit Forever. So, yeah, Romeo, he had the money, everything, when he came into the rap game already, because of his father. And I think he broke Michael Jackson's record for youngest singer to top the Billboard or something like that. And he got a lot of awards and stuff for that song or whatever for that album. Now, The Girlies barely made it onto the hot rap singles. So that isn't very good. But after that, it seemed as if Romeo was just a simple one-hit wonder like so many other good artists out there who didn't have a chance enough to shine. So after Romeo came, what is it called again? I did not plan to watch this video, I'm sorry. You know what, forget it, forget the second album's name. Anyway, I think it was Richie Rich or something. Anyway, the second album was kind of a step up or a step down, depends on how you look at it. It was practically the same material, and he released about 2 singles for the album. Only one of them charted, barely got a place on the hot rap singles, so you could say Romeo fell. The album sold about 300,000, so it didn't even go platinum. Now, this was when Romeo was about 13, 14, but he still sounded like if he was 3. So, after that, he thought he would come back with his more teen album when he became a teenager in 2006. Well, I'm sorry, 3, with his next album, Romeo Land. Yeah, it has a picture of Romeo with a cap and a Ferris wheel. Not very good. Overall, the album was a good album, and it's kind of rare right now. It sold about 300,000 copies in the US today, but I'm not sure. Who could be sure? So, it didn't even have a hit, but it had some great songs. Let me quote you some of them. My Cinderella, and it also had Girlfriend, Hootie Hoop, and yeah, that's about it for that. That wraps it up. Romeo had albums after Romeo Land, but they didn't get any recognition or much good sales. Now, Romeo was also an actor back in the day. He starred in a movie called, well, his first cameo appearance in a movie was Max Keeble's Big Move, really good kids movie. And next, but Romeo did have his own series though, called Romeo, obviously, The Romeo Show, which aired on Nick for about 3 years with 3 seasons. Now that's pretty strong because it had a kind of following. Anyway, after Romeo Show, and Romeo, I guess, ran out of material. Since in 2000, let's say 6, 7, maybe even before that, him and his father and a few others, including Mario, came in a Master P No Limit movie called Uncle, where Romeo acted as Master P's nephew. So yeah, that is also a good kids movie, but I wouldn't recommend it since it kind of sucks, and you would only catch those jokes if you're a kid who's probably never seen a comedy movie in his life. Anyway, if that's who you are, then that's the movie for you. But an interesting thing about Romeo is that he never pushed himself hard enough. He stayed with the ballin', the same blah blah blah. I got some girls, I got some jewelry. I can get a girl, I'm talking about a girl. I'm talking about my jewelry. I'm rich, I'll talk about my money however much I want, which is all of the time. I'm a baller, I have friends, look at these girls, they're standing behind me, whatever, I'm in the club, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the normal rapper talk. But if you talk differently, that's when people listen. So, when Romeo had beef with, but you'll hear about him later on. When Romeo had beef with this person, the person rapped him off, or dissed him in a song called Fresh as I'm Is. You may know who I'm talking about right now. And he said, I'm 18, I'm making more than your dad. Now that's a big diss, because since he didn't even diss Romeo exactly, he dissed him and his father. Now that enraged both Master P and Romeo, so Master P helped him with some help from the Ghetto Boys or Rich Boys or whatever they're called, with a song called You Can't Shine Like Me. Now this disc is dope for a new school song, and it beats out Fresh as I'm Is. I think it even has like 2 million more views on it on YouTube or something, I'm not sure. But it's a really great song, my best Romeo song of all time. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in My Cinderella, he sampled the 1993 hit what is it called? I'm sorry, I didn't find this video. Goodness. And If I Ever Fall in Love Again. Yes, that's the song by Shy, which is one of my favorite R&B. Wait, no, they're not one of my favorite R&B groups. Sorry, but that's my favorite song from them, which is probably their only good song. Anyway, let's continue with the list. So, yeah, but Romeo did release a video in either late last December or sometime in January, February time, which only has a couple thousand views. It's called Ask About Me. And in this song, he introduces a new Romeo where he curses and, so he changed a lot. So, that's about it on Romeo. So, now that we're finished with Romeo, let's move on. Coming in at number 6, we have Bow Wow. Now, Bow Wow was you could say, a nice 20% better than Romeo, since he more experimented with the rap game than he did. Now, Bow Wow started off in 2000. He met Snoop Dogg at one of his shows and somehow got off a record deal. So Bow Wow, when he started off, he was really good. And in his first debut album, which is called, was it called Unleashed? No, that's Snoop Dogg. Sorry, I didn't find this. Beware of the Dog. Yes, I'm sure it's that. After Beware of the Dog, which sold 3 million copies and had a lot of hits, including Bounce With Me, Puppy Love, and of course the notorious Bow Wow, That's My Name. What's my name? So after that, he came out with a different or distinct sound in his second album called Doggy Bag, which was released in 2001, and it had a few minor hits, but still managed to have a few good ones. And yeah, that got him through with about 2 million to about 1 million copies. After that, he tried out a whole new different era of sound when he turned about 16 years old. Yeah, that's about it. And then he shortened his name to Bow Wow because he wasn't Lil Bow Wow anymore. So he came out with hits such as what's it? Let's Get Down, yes. And it was a really good song, and in my comparison, a really good album. But a lot of critics didn't think that. Whenever you look at Bow Wow's albums on Wikipedia, you'll either see 2.5, 3 stars, up to 3.5 stars, because they see him as a middle person. He's stuck here. If he moves forward, we could give him more. But if he keeps staying where he is, if he's comfortable there, he can stay, but he won't get anything better for us. That is what the critics were to him. So, after Bow Wow came out with whatever that album is called, he released his next album, which is another great album called Wanted, which came out with, and I have to say it now, with Precious Amiz, and it's one of my favorite Bow Wow albums, because there comes Precious Amiz, and then comes in where he dissed Romeo, and Romeo dissed him back. He lost that battle, unfortunately, and after Precious Amiz came Like You, featuring Sierra, which went all the way up to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, which is Bow Wow's biggest hit up to date. I'm sure he won't be making any more hits, unfortunately. So, and after that came a duet with Omarion called Hold You, or is it Hold Me? Oh, Let Me Hold You. That was a really great song, one of the best songs, of course. After Wanted came The Price of Fame. Now, in The Price of Fame, he had about a little hit. No hit at all. Because I can't really remember. I have not listened to any Bow Wow albums after Wanted. I've listened to a couple of songs from The Price of Fame, but I was unimpressed, so I just stopped listening to Bow Wow. If you don't impress me, if I lose track of what you're doing, then I'll just stop. So, that's enough on Bow Wow. He also acted in movies like Mike and The Lottery Ticket, and those are his 2 more recent. right now for some reason. Camera. So, next, since Bow Wow's a good rapper. So, after Bow Wow comes in number 5, we have Shyheim, aka The Rugged Child, one of my favorite rappers of all time, because he broke boundaries as a rapper. In 1994, he released his debut album titled Shyheim, aka The Rugged Child, which was the album with his only hit and one of my favorite rap songs, of course, called On and On. I would like to quote a little from the song since I love it so much. Nowadays, you gotta walk the streets and watch your back. Cause brothers with the gas, so we know how to act. They always pull a block once their body bounces enough, and if they get shot, they off to sneak to the cops. Now that's a really great line, and did he write his own rhymes? I'm not sure. But of course he accepted it, and he stuck with it. After aka The Rugged Child came The Lost Generation, which was a really great album, but a couple of the songs were way too raw, but that was just who Shyheim was. Maybe it's because I don't like a lot of raw stuff. So, after Shyheim, aka The Rugged Child, and The Lost Generation, and in The Lost Generation he had another great song titled Shaolin Style, which was dedicated to all of the Wu-Tang Clan members and affiliates and all the people who are on Staten Island, called Shaolin Style, featuring G.P. Wu and Method Man. Now, Method Man is not credited in the song, but he should take one of the biggest credits because the chorus is massively good. Goodness. But Shyheim's voice kind of changed. I think that's why people kind of stopped listening to him. His voice was okay in his first album, but as The Lost Generation went on, you notice his voice getting more grimy and raw and everything. You know, it's like if his voice is evolutionizing itself to become raw. So he was only able to talk, speak, and rhyme a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I haven't listened to any other albums for Shyheim after that, but that's still, he's still a great rapper, one of the best child rappers. And I am naming him in this list because he crossed over boundaries. Oh, after The Lost Generation came Man Child, after Man Child came whatever, I can't remember. So, Shyheim's a good rapper. After Shyheim, in number 4, we have, and this will surprise a lot of you since you either thought this would be in the top 3 or number 1, Kris Kross. Yes, Kris Kross is at number 4. That surprises me as well, but there are other rappers better than Kris Kross. Now, there is, let's say this is rap. This is the high people, this is the low people. Okay? This is Drake, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Meek Mill, whoever. And this is Young Dolph. Because he sucks, and he is also unrecognized in the rap game. So, Kris Kross, yes. Starting off early in either 1980s or the early 90s in 1992, Christopher and Chris met Jermaine Dupri, who was the manager of So Def Records. So, Jermaine they met each other in the mall. He asked them if they could sing and dance. He said, yeah, I could rap. Yeah, we can dance a little bit. So they said, yeah, come on, let's do this. And in 1992, they released their hit record, most famous, Totally Crossed. Mainly, this is not one of my favorite records because I don't know, it's like every single song sounds the same. But they have some great songs in there. Jump, Warm It Up. And with Jump, which got to number 2 on the Billboard, but you could still say it got to number 1 if you want. Jump crossed boundaries because whoever expected kids to make it big on the chart. And Jump was very good for hip hop because it made it more noticed. It set hip hop at a point where it was leading the chart. I think the single went platinum. And after Jump came Warm It Up, which got to about number 13 or more. And I Missed the Bus. And It's a Shame. I'm not fun if I Missed the Bus or It's a Shame, but I like Warm It Up and Jump. After Totally Crossed Out came my favorite Kris Kross album, finally, Da Bomb. A lot of critics criticized it, and a lot of people didn't buy it because they thought it was too raw for them. They are just kids, 14 and 15. But they did not curse in the album. They may have said shit about one time, as nigga a lot of times. They used that to the extent in the album. But nevertheless, the album was very short, but had some really good stuff. And its lead single, Alright, and I'm Real, and Da Bomb. Alright got to about in the top 20 of the Billboard Hot 100. I'm Real got to the top 30. I think it was about at number 25. And my favorite song in the entire album, Da Bomb, barely scraped at number 25 on the Hot Rap Singles. And that was also the first song from So So Def featuring The Brat. She is the best one of the song. Thank you. Please, for your own sake, if you like any old school rap, go to that song. That song has over 1 million views, even though it just touched number 25 on the Hot Rap Singles. Because back in the day, it was just about all the Hot Rap Singles. You know, that's it. So, after Da Bomb came their last album, Young, Rich, and Dangerous, which is another great album, my second favorite Kris Kross album. With it came the singles I Live and Die for Hip Hop and Tonight's the Night. They are both very good songs, but one of my best songs, if not the best song of the album, is Young, Rich, and Dangerous. When the song kicks off with Kris just rhyming off the top, that is very dope. A lot of people like that album because they thought it was better. That's it, they didn't really fit. So much for explanation. Anyway, that was the last album, and I'm sorry to say, but it's a good thing that they made the song I Would Live and Die for Hip Hop, since it had both Kris Kross members and Jermaine Dupri, The Brat, and Mr. Black, who I never heard about in my life. So, but in 2000, either 10, 11, 12, 13, something, Chris Kelly died in, like, he was in his late 30s or early 40s, I'm not sure. But he died. I mean, that surprised me. I mean, how could you just take him over? But it's somehow, like, whenever a singer or rapper dies, like, before they die, they have made a song about death. Tupac did it, Michael Jackson did it, Prince did it, a lot of people did it, Elvis Presley did it, and he was, like, one of the best songs. And Chris did it as well with I Live and Die for Hip Hop. So now that song is a tribute to Chris Kelly. That's the end of Kris Kross. They are one of the best rappers of all time, one of the most best recognized. So next on the list, coming in at number 3, we have, this is going to surprise a lot of people even more. Number 3, we have Jaden Smith. Just saying that makes it too long. But Jaden Smith is one of the dopest rappers, and no matter what he's going through right now, if he's killing himself or wearing women's clothes or disappearing or whatever, he is very dope. With his first mixtape titled The Cool Kids or The Cool Cafe Volume 1 or something. That was good, but nothing really relevant or different. Just another pop album. But in it was one of the best, if not the best, Jaden Smith song, The Cool. But that isn't what made me put it on this list. What made me put it on this list was his most recent work, which was released in 2015. It's his EP titled This Is the Album. All three of those songs are too good. Like, you could listen to this, even though it's not even 10 minutes long. It's made up of Scarface and two other songs. I'm not sure what their names are. Now, these are some really great songs. And it's like if he put his whole heart and soul into it. This is very dope for new school and a really good uprise. If only more people were like Jaden Smith, then there would be more good rappers today. Unfortunately, there aren't. And hopefully Jaden Smith will keep on releasing this. So, Jaden Smith, I salute you. If you keep on doing this, people will keep on listening, and eventually you'll make a hit. Hopefully. If not, still keep on. Next on the list we have, coming in at number 2, Illegal. This is probably the most unheard of kid rap group you've ever not heard of, obviously. Illegal only had one album after they met Naughty by Nature. They gave them an album and they released it in 1993. It was titled The Untold Truth, with coming 3 singles, We Get Busy, Header Guts, and Back in the Day. The only 2 singles to chart were Header Guts and We Get Busy. The album was a minor success, only getting to number 189 on the Billboard 200. The group was made up of rappers Jamal and Mr. Malik, which were two good rappers. And for your own good, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to Jamal and Malik to listen to their album. It's available right now on YouTube. Go right now. Seriously, go right now and listen to that album. Back in the Day is a song about their struggles of growing up and their hard lives back in the day. We Get Busy is a song featuring Eric Sermon, which got surprisingly to number 1 on the Hot Rap Singles, but it's only number 95 on the Billboard Hot 100, which is the first I've ever heard of this. But it's a very dope song, and I think it's a diss track as well to the Youngsters or something. Anyway, Header Guts, which is the most important song on the album, is a diss towards Kris Kross and the Youngsters. Now, Kris Kross said but Kris Kross they didn't respond. But a lot of people said that they didn't want beef with Chi. Almost fooled myself. Almost said it. They said that they wanted beef with that person and the Youngsters and Kris Kross. So they called out Kris Kross, but Kris Kross didn't answer. That's funny. Kris Kross said, if we hear a diss from any group, we're slaying them. But I guess they forgot to slay Illegal. So Illegal, when they did them in Header Guts, it was practically like this. They must have created the song by imagining Kris Kross bagged and gagged on their knees or sitting in a chair, strapped up with their mouth strapped and with something covering their eyes. And they must have been asking them in the form of a rap song, do you want me to kill you by either chopping off your head, slicing off your gut, or shooting you in the head, or shooting you in your gut? Because that's what the song sounds like. Now, Illegal didn't make it anywhere. Jamal kept releasing albums, and Malik also released an album in 2005 called The Game Needs Me. Jamal released an album called, okay, I forgot that name, but still good. And Illegal, I just listened to it a couple hours ago, and this album is very dope. Too dope, obviously, for kids. And I was surprised because they were so raw, so unpolished diamonds for their age. They were about 14 at the time, and this was one of the dopest tracks I've ever heard in my life. You know? It's that good. Words cannot describe how good this album is. So for your own good, go and listen to Illegal, The Untold Truth, full album, right now on YouTube. Right now. Every song is like a precious diamond. So, since I'm done pleasing them, let's move on to number 1. Drum roll, please. Finally, at number 1 comes in, and this will also be another person you've never heard before, Chi Ali. Yes, Chi Ali. Chi Ali is the best child rapper ever because of his simple dopeness and of his voice. I mean, literally, this kid's voice is just like gold, except when he turned 15. Look. He released it in the same year with Chris Cross. That's probably the reason why it got such downward sales. Anyway, it's his only album, probably because he went to jail after this. Yeah, I think it was after he shot someone, a hit and run or something like that. So, Chi Ali, all of these songs are just so good. And I can't believe it only has 3 stars. When something has 3 stars, you're thinking, okay, this is good. But this is excellent. Chi Ali proves everything he had to prove in this album. I don't care if he had a second album or not. This album was the bomb. From Maniac Psycho all the way down to Let the Horns Blow and Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Now, in this album there were 3 singles. Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, Funky Lemonade, and Roadrunner. Funky Lemonade and Roadrunner got to a couple places they were minor successes on the Hot Rap singles. But Age Ain't Nothing But a Number shot up all the way to about number 7, 8, or 9 on the Hot Rap singles. It never touched the Hot 100. But they were really great songs. Truly cult classic album. 2 of the best songs in this album, and 2 of the most recognizable ones, is Shorty Said Nah and Murder She Wrote, which is very creative. Shorty Said Nah is about a story Chi Ali tells you on some Jubilee or something, when him and his friend Chris goes out with these girls. But then at the end of the song, Chi finds that's Murder She Wrote. In Murder She Wrote, him and Chris go out and they get these 2 girls, they have sex and whatever. And then, but the girl led Chris into a trap. These guys kidnap Chris and were about to kill him, but thank the Lord that she was there to kill the guys first. And at the end, they shot the girl, since she's free. In Shorty Said Nah, it's a story about how Chi Ali woke up in the morning feeling sore, and his body was feeling sour, so he jumped into the shower. And his God called him and said she was ready to get on the butt. And after the booty call, he rose up and flew out the door like Superman. But then he meets up with this gang led by a kid named Sydney. Now, Sydney, in this gang, they would like to rob Chi Ali. He said, give me everything from your sneakers to your hat. And do it quick or you'll be dead on the mat. But she gets the pistol away and he shoots her. But Sydney isn't there. So he gets the girl and everything. But then, she's taking a long time to come. So when he goes outside, he sees a car pull up. and his girl is in there hooking up with the kid in the back seat. So he pulls her out by her hair, and when he looks in there, he sees, what do you guess? Sydney. Sydney right there waiting for Chi. So that is a very big coincidence. But then, as they were about to beat him down, Chi Ali knocked the weapon out of his hand, ran forth, got it, and shot him again. Did he kill him? Who knows? And it also has a very, very good native tongue song called Let the Horns Blow, featuring Phife Dawg and Chi Ali, Drez, and some other fellow. Anyway, it's a very good song. And at this time, Chi Ali was the youngest member of the native tongue family. Just now. And Chi Ali didn't even have to write his own rhymes, I think. So that makes him the dopest rapper. The dopest child rapper, of course, and the best child rapper. So no one up to this date has impressed me more than Chi Ali at his age of 14. And although his career was short-lived, his legacy will live on forever. Thank you. This brings us to the end of the video. I hope you liked the list. If not, please feel free to express yourself in the comments below. And dislike or like if you feel like. And don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. This has been The Awesome Man, a.k.a. Kevin Nasher, a.k.a. Andre X, a.k.a. K9, a.k.a. Andre, a.k.a. Raf Khan, a.k.a. so many other things. And I'll see you next time.